Hi, welcome to Restorative Yoga. I'm Allison, and I'm so happy to have you here with me. It means that you are really dedicated to just downshifting and regulating your nervous system and taking the time to tune inward, even in just little bite-sized practices. So let's get started. Today is going to be a pretty intense practice. We're going to be doing pigeon pose. And if you've never done pigeon before, just bear with me a little, see how far you can get into it. I'll try and offer some options along the way, but it's something that you might need to work up towards a little bit. It may be a little bit more of an advanced practice, but let's just go with it. We've got our one prop that is going to help us. You might want to have an additional pillow, just even a queen size pillow from the bed would be fine. Queen or king size actually, as an additional prop to a rolled up blanket or bolster as well that you might have, because we're going to be using this and potentially a pillow. Okay, so just pressing pause and getting the props that you need, otherwise settling in, making any adjustments that you need to your body. And just beginning to tune in, noticing the sensations in the body through the breath. As you inhale through the nose, drawing that breath down the spine to lengthen the spine into our upright posture. And then as you exhale, just notice how your body responds by releasing tension. Inhaling again, drawing that breath all the way down to the lower belly, maybe creating a little expansion of the belly. And then as you exhale, soften again. Continuing to find a rhythm, just a few more rounds, drawing that awareness into a count, lengthening and deepening the breath to a count of 3 or 4 really allows for space for you to feel the response of the body to the breath. And then before you know it, you've completely forgotten about your day, completely forgotten about that problem that you've been chewing on like a dog with a bone. We use the breath to draw the focus of the mind inward. And we use stillness to just feel what we feel from moment to moment. Beautiful. Let's move ourselves into a gentle cat-cow, and a child's pose is going to set our body up well for our pigeon pose today. So taking yourself off of the blanket, maybe rolling onto your knees over the shins, or you can kind of sit back, stack your knees, and come up in this way. I'm going to move this blanket over to the side. And we're going to draw ourselves into a nice cat-cow. So in this neutral position, knees are stacked under hips, and you're not too wide apart here, wider than the width of your hips. And then you're planting your palms down. And if this is really aggravating to your wrists, which sometimes it can be for mine, then you can take a fist and just rest on that top knuckle that you use to contact for a fist bump. And you can position yourself in this way as well. So just working through whatever option works for your body. Let's just begin by just sort of softening in and sort of moving that spine like a snake in the grass. You're sort of leading with the shoulders and allowing the hips to follow, just doing a little bit of free flow to sort of juice up the joints. So let's exhale everything out so we can synchronize together. And on your next inhale, allow the chest to sort of draw between the shoulders, gently arching the back. And then as you exhale, push away from the ground into cat. Inhale into cow, allowing the belly to drop. This chest comes between the shoulders. And then exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Inhale into cow, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale into cat, push away on the ground, open the shoulder blades. Inhale into cow and exhale into cat. One more time, inhaling into cow and exhale into cat. Beautiful. Now let's allow our hips to fall down on the heels. But before we do that, let's bring our toes together to touch. We want to take a little bit of a wider stance with our knees to draw in a nice deep stretch, just to kind of warm up a little bit before the pigeon. So toes are touching behind. Allow the heels to drop down to the hips to drop down to the heels. And if you have an extra pillow, if your quads are a little tight, you have an option of dropping that extra pillow, that queen size pillow I was mentioning. You could drop that between your hips and your heels for a little bit of relief if you're really tight in the quads, okay? Allowing those hips to fall back on the heels and then reaching the hands out, just taking a gentle stretch here of the upper body, sinking in. We're just sort of warming up the lower body as well, especially those upper legs, these powerhouse muscles. Pigeon pose is all about the upper leg and our hips. So let's draw ourselves on your next inhale back up to tabletop, all fours. And then just sitting upright on your knees, let's get ourselves into position for the first side. Now, pigeon pose is this stretch that draws this awareness and loosens up our hip muscles, these powerhouse muscles here, where oftentimes are completely inactive all day long. So by loosening and opening up these muscles, we're really drawing some blood flow to them. We're really activating them, even though we might not be doing a marathon run of sorts. We're really drawing awareness into bringing ease and stretching into this. Now I'm going to use my blanket as a prop. Let's get you into the posture as easy as we can. Beginning from tabletop, we're going to take one knee and we're going to allow that leg to extend back and then come up towards the chest, resting it forward from your other knee. And then you want to angle this foot towards that other knee so that it's got like about a 45-degree angle as you look down. Now, the goal is to try and keeping your hips as much level as you can, okay? So you don't want to come down into pigeon and be popping up on this really tight hip, which is what you're trying to stretch. And that's why I bring in the blanket as a prop. So I'm going to put this gently under sort of the back side of the hip so that I can draw myself back to rest upon it and really sort of level off my hips. This back leg here, you can actually curl the toes under and sort of grip the ground to draw this leg back a little bit, noticing how you can move this front leg into position, drawing that stretch out just a little bit deeper before resting that extended leg behind you down on the ground and resting the foot fully on the top of the foot. Okay, so here we are. This is your first option. You can just breathe into this and bringing this prop up underneath this hip as high as you need to go. Okay, I've just got a little bit of it. I'm just sort of pinching it so that there's a support there. You can position that queen size pillow in front here, which is just going to bring you a little bit more height to come down and test sort of how far if you wanted to rest rather than coming all the way to the ground. If you didn't want to just be up on your, if you didn't want to be just propped up on your arms the whole time, you can play with having a pillow here to rest your elbows just to come down about halfway, okay? So taking a couple more rounds of breath, easing in wherever you're at. Find that extension of the spine by drawing the shoulders away from the ears. You can stay here in option one, or if you want to exhale and come down with this upper body, you can allow the elbows to support you and then stacking the hands underneath your forehead, you can rest comfortably on your forearms here. Inhaling and exhaling into position. Beautiful. On your next inhale, let's bring ourselves back up to the extended position. Moving this prop out of the way, you're going to allow your body to sort of sink down onto that hip, gently, slowly drawing this leg back forward and just sort of shaking it out a little bit. And maybe taking a moment here to just feel what you feel, noticing the difference from one leg to the other. Just pausing here to feel that sensation and drawing awareness in. Let's move to the other side. I'm going to position this blanket so it's handy and ready. And I'm just going to kind of make it even with my knees right here is going to be about the right place that it'll be handy for you. Let's move into tabletop. And whatever leg was extended last time, we're going to take that leg and extend it. And this time it's going to be the bent leg. So we're going to draw it towards our chest And allow that foot to come on the other side, taking a 45-degree angle. It's almost as if my heel is lined up with my knee that's still planted. And now I'm going to curl these toes with this other leg and just sort of extend that other leg back, drawing this blanket in to rest on at whatever level works for you. Scoot myself over a little bit. And then having your queen size pillow prop handy here if you wanted it. And always just making adjustments. So inhaling here to lengthen through the spine, draw those shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, option to come down on the elbows and then stack the palms underneath your forehead. Making sure that your hips feel relatively level. You're not leaning on one leg or another while in this position. Continuing to breathe deeply, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Can you soften into that intense stretch and actually relax your hip? Noticing on those deep exhales how the body wants to respond. Beautiful. On your next inhale, let's draw ourselves back up, planting the palms, extending the upper body, releasing that blanket and allowing yourself to gently fall on that hip as this extended leg comes up to meet the other knee. And then curling yourself around, let's lie ourselves flat to close out our practice, just to be able to really relax the legs. Maybe using that blanket or pillow to cradle underneath the knees and provide a little relief to the low back. Lying yourself down. And just feel what you feel. Allowing your body to just release. Noticing these little micro shifts that come in as you settle into your Shavasana position, your corpse pose. Often noted as the most challenging pose of all. Simply because of the stillness factor here. Our culture really conditions us to keep going and going and going and always doing, always busy with something. We don't often find the time to just be. And especially to feel the effects of our yoga practice. So taking a few more moments here in this mini journey of stillness to just find ease and noticing what's happening in the mind at the end of your practice. Can you let go of any thoughts of judgment or attachment to an expectation and just trust that the more you do this posture over and over again, the more ease you will find. And the more mini journeys of stillness you find, the more clarity arises from within. So just taking this practice and letting it go at the end of your day, allowing yourself to lie here as long as you need. If you're ready to get out, just wiggling the fingers and the toes and drawing the knees towards the chest. Taking in a gentle squeeze to stretch the low back. And then just rolling yourself gently onto one side. Use this upper arm and upper leg to cantilever and push yourself up. And just moving in for a quick close. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, opening up for a nice big virtual hug from me to you. You did it, you showed up. Maybe this is your first time doing Pigeon Pose. Maybe you've done it often and you just haven't revisited it lately. I hope you're finding a little more ease, a little less stress. I'll see you next time.